Good Wednesday morning, everyone. Welcome back to Weather with Sim again. I hope you guys are all having a great day so far. And in today's weather forecast, we are going to continue to watch this bomb cyclone as it will continue to bring catastrophic impacts to the northwest, including a rare high risk that is currently in effect for areas around the Eureka area. And we also will continue to see that potential for high winds, potentially still getting up to that 80-mile-per-hour mark. So we really need to be watching the northwest closely for the next few days, as that area really is seeing that potential for, once again, some catastrophic impacts. So we'll continue to watch that area very closely by the time we head into the next few days. And then, we'll also watch for some more storm systems to move on through by the time we head into later November. So we will be going over all that in today's video, so make sure to stay tuned to the end, so that way you guys know about all this information, and that includes like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, so that way you don't miss out on any future weather updates on Weather with Sim. But also feel free to leave any questions, comments, or concerns that you guys have down below. You guys can leave anything down below, as long as it's respectful, and I will get to those right after today's weather forecast. But let's first go ahead and take a look at this bomb cyclone. And as you guys can see, we are currently watching this bomb cyclone closely, as it is still continuing to bring some really bad impacts to parts there of the northwest. And so this is going to be an area to continue to watch very closely, as Northern California, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, into Montana really is looking to see that potential for some catastrophic impacts. Like I said, areas around Eureka is really seeing that potential for very heavy rainfall and perhaps some catastrophic flooding, and that is looking to mainly be as we head to tomorrow across that area. But we are going to continue to see that potential for high winds and even some snowfall, which could once again potentially get up there towards 48, 70 inches of snowfall, as several feet of snowfall still cannot be rolled out across parts there of the higher elevation. So like I said, we will continue to watch this bomb cyclone closely, but we will just need to continue to watch it, and we'll kind of just figure it out from there, as this bomb cyclone once again could bring that potential for catastrophic flooding, and as well as damaging winds across the northwest. Let's now go ahead and look at all the watches, warnings, and advisories. And one of the things I thought was pretty wild is that if you look at this area right here, areas to the north of South Dakota are seeing winter storm impacts, while areas south of North Dakota are seeing winters, or not winter, but seeing high wind warnings and fire weather warnings. Look at that difference right there. I'm not kidding. This is a fire weather warning currently in effect for parts that are southern Nebraska, heading into parts that are western Iowa, as once again areas far to the north, like North Dakota, are still currently dealing with those winter storm conditions. And then areas well west of that across the northwest, once again, we are going to watch these areas over there towards Washington, Oregon, Northern California, as we still got some blizzard conditions still ongoing across those areas, while we even got some winter storm warnings in effect for southern Oregon all the way back down there into parts there of Northern California. And then once again, even some flood watches in effect for parts there of extreme south western Oregon into parts there of northwest California. So we really need to be watching that area very closely, including the Eureka area, as once again those areas could see some catastrophic flooding, and once again widespread winter storm warnings and damaging winds will also continue to be a concern with the storm system and bomb cyclone 2 as well. Let's now go ahead and look at the excessive rainfall outlook for today. And as you guys can see, we do have a slight risk for flash flooding across parts there of northwest California, but also a moderate risk. Look at that, a moderate risk for flash flooding across that area right there, okay? So keep in mind that today isn't going to be the worst, it's going to be tomorrow. So whatever we see today probably won't be catastrophic, but it sure, is enough to still cause some isolated significant flash floods. So you still really need to be taking this seriously today, especially if you do live around the Eureka area, like I said. And, once again, not really looking to be catastrophic as we head to tomorrow, as we do have a rare high risk for flash flooding across areas around Eureka, and even around that we got a moderate risk, and even around that we even got a slight risk. So that is going to be an area to really be watching closely tomorrow, as once again areas in and around Eureka will really need to be watching that area very closely, as lots of rivers will likely reach that major flood stage, as we will continue to see that. Plus, we can also expect there to once again be that risk for widespread damaging winds and as well as winter storm warnings, as we currently have those ongoing for the higher elevations. And then by the time we head into Friday, things do calm down a little bit, but still continue across the higher elevations. That's mudslides, some pretty big floods still possible as we head into Friday, and some of that even does look to linger, but we still can't rule out a little bit there across Eureka as we head into Friday. But once again, things should calm down as we head into the weekend, so make sure to especially be on high alert tomorrow, as things will really start to get catastrophic. Now, let's go ahead and look at a storm system that's ongoing across the eastern United States. And once again, we are dealing with a lot of this stuff across the west. But over here out to the east, by the time we head into Thursday, we are going to be dealing with a lot of snowfall out here in the Ohio Valley and Mid-Atlantic. So we really need to be watching those areas very closely by the time we head into Thursday, like I said. But this isn't really looking to be anything in the way of a winter storm, especially because a lot of this is actually mixed rain and snowfall like there across northern Illinois. So once again, we will keep an eye on it closely, but still does remain a little bit uncertain, as things, could definitely change. But we will continue to watch it closely, like I said, as we head into Thursday of this week, as this could still bring a couple inches of snowfall, but nothing anywhere near a winter storm. And then after that one, we will need to be watching another one by the time we head into the end of November, as this one could bring some freezing rain to Indiana, as we do have a little purple color popping up, but areas well to the north could maybe experience a hefty winter storm by the time we head into November 30th. So keep in mind that this is still really far out, so things could still change, but this is still very concerning, as we are getting close to December, so things could really start ramping up, and that really does look to continue by the time it moves into Ohio and as well as the Mid-Atlantic. So that is going to be another area to really be watching closely for by the time we head into the end of November, as once again we got some of that purple color showing up in this area right here, indicating the potential for some freezing rain. So that is gonna even bring that potential for possibly an ice storm or two, but once again, those still far out, so things could still change. Now, let's go ahead and look at the Climate Prediction Center outlooks. And as you guys can see, the Climate Prediction Center is forecasting a risk for much below average temperatures across parts there, Montana's into the Dakotas, by the time we head into the end of November. And same goes for parts there of the lower Ohio Valley, especially areas along and south of the Ohio River, and as well as areas along the East Coast could really also see that potential for some high winds. So we really will need to be watching it very closely, like I said, as things could, once again, really start to ramp up across some of these areas. And I know it doesn't show this, but we also do have that risk for heavy snowfall across the Great Lakes region. So we really need to also be watching that area by the time we head into later November and once again early December. Now, let's look at your total snowfall that is anywhere from now all the way to December 1st, and as you guys can see, much of the northern United States is likely going to see anywhere from a couple inches to possibly even up to 2 feet, depending on your elevation, so we really need to be watching those areas very closely by the time we head into December. I'm not really sure about these areas farther down to the south. We still can't rule out a couple inches of snowfall across these areas, but this is still a little bit of a question mark on what we'll really see, let's say south of Iowa, so we really need to be watching those areas closely. But like I said, it's still kind of a question mark on what exactly we'll see south of Iowa and even south of the Ohio River. So, we'll keep an eye on it closely, but still does remain a little bit uncertain as things once again could, change a lot as we are still heading over 10 days out. And then for your total precipitation, as you guys can see, the Northwest likely to see a lot, especially across the Eureka area, like I said, as anywhere from 1 to 2 feet of rainfall is definitely likely, as we are seeing those yellow colors pop up, and even some of those yellow colors are getting really bright, which actually indicates almost 24 inches of rainfall, guys. That is a lot of rainfall. So if you do live across Eureka, keep in mind, like I said, that catastrophic flooding is still going to be possible as we head into tomorrow, as, that rainfall is just going to continue to accumulate during the daytime hours today, tonight, and once again, even tomorrow especially. So make sure to be watching for fast-moving floodwaters that could sweep away houses. Could be something similar like what we saw back over here in the Appalachian Mountains, but like I said, we will definitely continue to watch you guys around the Eureka area closely, as even those rivers will likely be well over major flood stage. Now, let's go ahead and talk about just one more thing. And one more thing that I want to talk about is I really do appreciate you guys getting me up there towards 700 subscribers. We are just 2 subscribers away, guys. So if you guys can really get me up there towards 700 subscribers, that would be great. And one of the things I'm thinking about upgrading, especially if you guys continue to watch my channel, is maybe buying another weather app. I'm not really sure exactly what my next one will be. It depends on where I'm at by that time, but I'm thinking about getting another one, which should help my YouTube channel, once again, my live coverage a lot. So make sure to subscribe to my channel if you guys would like me to continue to do more upgrades, because every time you guys get me to 700, 800, 900, or even 1,000 subscribers, that's when I like to try to think about some upgrades to do. So make sure to subscribe, like I said, so that way we can do some upgrades on Weather with Sim. But also subscribe if you would like to stay tuned for more weather updates, as we will continue to keep you guys updated with the latest. Don't forget to leave a like too as well. Those help out more than you know. And of course, leave any questions, comments, or concerns that you guys have down below. You guys can leave anything down below, as long as it's respectful. And I hope you guys all have a great Wednesday, and we will see you in the next one. Goodbye, everyone. Ooh.